We will be starting this session soon. We are waiting for more participants. Hello everyone. We will be starting this session in next 5 minutes.
One request to all, please keep your microphone on mute mode. If you have any doubts, you can use the chat window or you can raise your hand in between. For the till the presentation is on, please keep your microphone on mute mode.
Hello everyone, hi. Can everyone hear me? Just Supriya or Parul, just say hi. Hi.
Hi, hi.
Okay, just okay. We'll start with the presentation. Host disabled participant screen sharing. So Supriya, kindly allow the participant screen sharing.
Okay. Should I'm making you host?
No, you cannot make me host. You can just share my, anyone can share the screen. That's it. You are the host now. Okay.
Can you share now? I will stop
Yeah.
sharing.
Yeah, you stop. So everyone, welcome. This is Samson Gomes, architect and one of the directors of Arkin from Vasai Center. So today I will give you a gist of what NATA is, NATA 2020. You have seen the different courses of design entrances. Last webinar we had where we told you which type of design related courses are there. And today we'll give you a gist of what is NATA exactly. Just a second, we'll start the slideshow. Okay, can everyone see the screen? Just anyone, Supriya?
Yeah, we can see.
Okay, so I'll just put it down. So welcome everyone, Samson Gomes. Today we'll give you a gist of what NATA 2020 asked for you. So Arkin basically coaches for NID, NFTU, SEED, BF and NATA. So all these are the different design entrance exam. As in last webinar, we have told you the details of all the different courses, all the different fields of design entrance exam. Today, we are just talking on NATA and NATA at 2020, which is this year, which was supposed to happen in April, currently postponed to August. NATA is National Aptitude Test in Architecture, being conducted by Council of Architecture at national level for 5 years degree course in Bachelors of Architecture. It's a degree course by Government of India, given by private and public listed colleges in India. When you go for this particular field, it's a blend of practical knowledge for students to learn the art of planning, designing, constructing physical structures of various kinds. From ideating to mapping and overseeing the construction, a qualified architect is involved at every stage of the construction. Everyone kindly put mute. Yes. Okay, NATA consists of 3 subtopics of exams: drawing, then general aptitude and mathematics. A drawing consists of many subjects, which ultimately creates a power to draw or memory drawing, a power to draw a still life, a power to draw different types of drawings. For what we teach you in this is the basic of all the drawings, where understanding the scale, proportions, shape, generating plan, geometric composition, color textures, building forms and elements, aesthetics, harmony and contrast, drawing of patterns. But just a second, Supriya, are you recording the session? Okay, recording automatic. Okay.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
Yeah, thank you. Building forms and elements, then harmony and contrast.
Samson?
Yeah.
We are able to see just that your screen, not the PPT. Is that okay?
Good. No, you have to see the PPT.
PPT, I'm not able to see.
Who is Purnima? Can you see the PPT? Hello. New share. Sorry.
You haven't started the presentation.
Good.
No, now we can see.
Yeah.
Okay, great. From beginning. Can you see now the entire screen?
Yeah, now we can see.
Okay. So Bachelors of Architecture is a 5 years degree course. For that, the entrance exam is called National Aptitude Test in Architecture, NATA, which is conducted every year by Council of Architects. Council of Architects is a registered body under Government of India. The act was passed in 1972. Then this is a full-time 5-year course. And for that course, you have to pass NATA. The general architect works is ideating to mapping and overseeing the construction. A qualified architect is involved at every stage of any construction project. NATA consists of the aptitude test. NATA consists of drawing, general aptitude, and mathematics. Drawing consists of all these elements which we have shown you, which ultimately makes a perfect memory drawing or a perfect geometrical composition or abstract composition or a still life. So understanding scale and proportion of the objects, shape, line, generating plan, geometric composition, color texture, building forms and elements, aesthetics, harmony and contrast, drawing of patterns, both geometrical and abstract, conceptualization and visualization, 2D, 3D forms, union, subtraction, rotation, many different types of drawings, which makes your mind key you are understanding drawings. You can start imagining the drawings. You can start making memory drawings. A perspective drawing, sketching of urban landscape, elevations, 3D views and objects. A general aptitude consists of objects, textures related to architecture and built environment, visualizing three-dimensional objects from two-dimensional drawing, interpretations of pictorial compositions, analytical reasoning, mental ability, visual, numerical, and verbal reasoning, awareness of national, international architects and their creations, the awards, the structures, visualizing different sides of the objects. Just a second. Then comes the mathematics. The mathematics is again CBSE level NCERT mathematics, which algebra. These are, if we give a fair comparison, these mathematics will not be more than 25 marks as per the calculations understood by us how the paper pattern rotates. So giving you idea, they need to have, you need to know mathematics, but not to that scale ki you crack the exam. Drawing is the integral part of the NATA exam and general aptitude. Okay, exam syllabus. Last year, this year, the exam was supposed to be held on 1st August 2020. Sorry, 19th April 2020. That was Sunday. So it has been changed to 1st August 2020. Of that, the total exam is of somewhere 200 marks. And out of that, 125 marks goes for the first 35 minutes, like of the 3 hours, that is if we consider 180 minutes, of the 180 minutes, 135 minutes goes for the 3 part of drawing. 3 questions, each carrying 35 marks each. Sorry, 2 questions, 35, 35, and 1 question, 55 marks. It's a particular drawing pattern. From last year to this year, what changed? Last year, there was only 2 questions, total carrying 80 marks. This year, 3 questions, total carrying 125 marks. Now, cracking the 125 marks is directly in your hand. Then, there is an intermission period of 15 minutes, and the last 45 minutes will be total 75 marks each. The total 75 marks questions. PCM questions are 15 questions, 1.5 marks each. General aptitude and logical reasoning, 35 questions of 1.5 marks each. So if you understand this 75 marks, if this goes, that is 15 into 20, 22 marks goes in PCM. I was telling you 25 marks, 22 marks goes in PCM. Logical reasoning and general aptitude gives you 35 to 1.5, somewhere 50 marks. So 50 marks is in your hand directly after the drawing exam. So going into PCM marks, physics, chemistry, maths, that is comparatively having only 22 marks, your main study point will be this, the drawing part, and then general aptitude and reasoning. This is easy to grasp and easy to solve. Then the same pattern of exam will again be happening on 30th August 2020. Now, COA thinks that students should at least have first first session of exam to know what is the NATA exam. If they fail or if they score less marks, you have the second attempt. From the last 3 years, it is happening in the same format. 2 exams, but that was held normally in April and July. That was end of May. Last year it was 7th of July. Next, you can see the distribution of marks. Drawing questions 2 into 35, 70 marks, and 1 into 55. This is normally a memory drawing, 55 marks. These two are composition drawings, 55. PCM of 22.5 marks. Many questions, but very less marks. So we shouldn't concentrate on this 22.5 marks. Again, general aptitude 35 into 1.5 is 52.5 marks. Again, you concentrate here more. The passing marks are normally out of 200 is 70. But that change on the depending on the people who pass. What does that mean? It means if the number of people who pass are above the average calculation of the seating capacity of architecture colleges, then the cutoff mark changes from 70 to 80 or 90 or 100. It's depending on the cutoff marks, because the seats of the architecture colleges is not more than 38,000 overall India. Somewhere 34,000. Last year 34,000 appeared and all cleared. Basically, some had a problem of admission because their 12th HSC marks were less. Okay, now brochure normally releases in January, 31st Jan. NATA application fees are to be paid from 1st to 1st February or 10th February. Then last date to fill, NATA application form releases on 1st. Application last date to fill is 15th April. Uploading of your images, signature is normally giving a space, and giving a space they give you some 10 days. Last date of payment of fees is 19th April. Last date to print the confirmation page key. Everything is right as per you, because this cannot change. This cannot change. Post exam, you fill the form of NATA architecture. This cannot change. Post going into first year, this cannot change. So this is the utmost thing. You have to remember your spellings, your addresses, everything correctly. Then there's something called form correction. If you think you have forgotten something, if you think you have done something, or you have got a SC/ST certificate and you think now it has to be uploaded, there's something called form correction. This again is a 3-4 days space. Then they give admit card, and then the exam dates are announced. So this year it's still not announced. It's announced, but the admit card and changes of the names, or what we call last date to print the confirmation page, means if you want to have some changes, form correction, this is still due, and this will be happen in some due course of time when the COA gives a definition of when this form correction dates will be issued. Next, eligibility criteria. Age limit, I feel it wrong, but still age limit is no age criteria. So a person of 50 years of age can still apply for architecture. Qualifying examination, it's 10 plus 12. It's normally 10 SSC plus 2 years of HSC, that is high school secondary certificate, or 10 plus 3 diploma exam. Also giving you a gist, last year 10 plus 3 was not in the brochure. After some complaints went from different sides of India, how you can take out the 10 plus 3 schedule immediately on the day. This was changed, and again 10 plus 3 diploma exam came into picture. Qualifying subjects, it's 10 plus 2 with physics, chemistry and maths as compulsory subjects, or 10 plus 3 diploma with maths as a compulsory subject. Just a second. Huh? I guess there is sound in the background. Okay. Then marks required. It's 50% marks in physics, 50% in chemistry, 50% in mathematics, and aggregate 50%. Kindly keep in mind, last year a student got 49.5 HSC aggregate marks. He was not qualified. He was not qualified for, although he gave the NATA exam, but he was not qualified for architecture because HSC marks minimum 50. Somebody said, sir, if we get 150, out of the aggregate of 150 marks, 50 means 100, we get a PCM, we get above 60. Then also it's not allowed. It's 50 marks in physics, 50 marks in chemistry, and 50 marks in mathematics, and 50 aggregate. This is the only roadmap. There's no change in the roadmap. And 50% aggregate marks in 10 plus the diploma. Also, diploma should have maths as your main subject. If you don't have maths, again, you are not qualified for the NATA exam. Or if you qualified for the NATA exam, you are not qualified for the architectural course. That's why we have just mentioned in clearly the marks cannot be rounded off as if the candidate has secured 49.9% marks in her qualifying exam, that is HSC, then the marks will be counted as 49.9% only and not 50. Scores are valid for 12 months, that is from the date of a candidate appears NATA. It's specifically cannot be defined as 12 months. It is the concurrent exam. Means if you qualify for, if you give exam in April and you give 12th exam in March, then April NATA, and then qualifying year is particular same year when you take the admission in June. So it's the particular qualifying exam for the concurrent NATA year. Many colleges are there. I have given a top colleges in India. This is a QR code. You can scan the QR code and you can see the colleges of India. Then AICTE approved colleges in India. There are many different bodies who give the approvals. It's something called DT, Directorate of Technical Education. It is something called AICTE, All India Council for Technical Education. So this is AICTE approved colleges in India. You just scan the QR code. There is a app called QR code reader. You can scan it and you can see this top colleges and AICTE approved colleges. I have mentioned something IIT Kharagpur, IIT Roorkee, and IIT Calicut School of Planning and Architecture. So somewhat this much courses. Top 20 colleges in Maharashtra. It's my mistake. It's not Maharashtra. It's Mumbai. This is Mumbai. It's my mistake. So these are the colleges in Mumbai. There are many more. But I have taken some 16 colleges which I found is the better colleges, because any college is not better. It's and why Mumbai? Mumbai is the hub of Maharashtra. Mumbai is the hub of India, and you can see a dot of Mumbai in the world map. That's why Maharashtra. Sorry, Mumbai. Anyone coming, anyone going outside India for future studies, Mumbai is a well-known name. So Mumbai colleges are in demand. This again QR code will help you to find more all colleges in Mumbai. Mumbai. It's not Maharashtra again, Mumbai.
Not only are the colleges in demand, the education that we impart at the architecture colleges in Mumbai, the standard is quite at par at the other international levels of education. There are a few colleges in Pune as well, which are at par with the level of education here in Mumbai. And largely we find that most of the colleges in Mumbai have a good standard of education, and a few most of the colleges in Pune as well. A few colleges in Aurangabad have come up, there are quite a few colleges in Aurangabad, and a few of them have come up well in their standards of educating. Their pedagogy is becoming much better every year. So yeah, the education, the style of pedagogy is becoming better in architecture, and especially so in metro cities of Maharashtra. Please carry on, Samson.
Okay. We are just giving you a syllabus. What is the syllabus of architecture? Just you should know in depth, am I going to study something boring subjects in architecture? Or am I going to see something different, various different types of architecture syllabus? These syllabus will help you to understand should I go or shouldn't I go? Because again, this should be your interest. Some or not all the topics can be of interest. Some of the topics will be of interest. This is 2012 and 13. Normally, syllabus changes after 5 to 7 years. Currently, this is the latest syllabus. So we have just taken out some 1 or 2 semesters for syllabus. You will find it anywhere in the website of AICT. What is the syllabus? I'll give you just what happens in syllabus. So architecture design schedule is a subject where you will understand the conceptual understanding what is buildings, understanding the forms, the sculptures, the door windows, the proportions. Again, allied design studio. Building construction is a construction from how to construct a building. It will start from a normal wooden structure and go with steel structures and go with concrete structures. All the 5 years they will teach you different type of building construction and materials. Theory of design and structures will be all the 5 years, because they will teach you what is the size of the column and how much steel will be required for column beam and footing and the structures of the buildings of any structures. There is humanities, there is environmental studies. So current, if you see today, environmental is the biggest changing the life. So environmental studies, because you should create the buildings in line with the environment. So environmental studies is also a part of architecture. Architecture representation and detailing means how do you draw something which is understood by the overall Indian middle class, what we call craftsmen or the local contractors. So you have to do something that they know. Something has been created that everyone knows and follows in a particular roadmap. So representation and detailing. Then college projects and electives. Again, the same will happen here. So detail is giving exposure to architects' works, building practices. See, many of the subjects we also cover, like exposure to architects and their works. So which we are taught you different types of architecture and the structures which we cover now, because exam also asks the same NATA exam. Same thing comes in the first year of architecture. Scales and proportion, human heights, then sitting heights, chairs, tables. That also is taught in architecture. Some just will go through. We have shared a presentation where the QR code is given. You can scan the QR code and go into much detail to see what all subjects are there in architecture. Then there is what, that's a second. This is second year B.Arch, semester 3. It's semester pattern, so there are total 10 semesters and totally there will be 5 years. So you can go in detail of it. There is interiors as an elective subject, there is set design as an elective subject, there will be town planning as an elective subject, there is soil mechanics as a subject, because architecture not only tells you how to draw a building, but it tells you how to execute a building. There is a history of everything. So you shouldn't be able to hear what happened in past, that you should know. Today, if some sentences say, history repeats itself, right? Many of the historical building has came and came into the current situation and made their life in the looks of that particular building looks like olden Persian style, colonial style, the Nagara, Dravidian style buildings. So history is repeating itself. So you have to know history of architecture also. and very interesting. Tell you, very interesting. The Taj Mahal, the Qutub Minar are very interesting to study. So I will go again to the presentation because it's long, and you will be confused what all. But you have to go through because it will not take you more than 2 to 3 hours to go through each and every sentence. Connection to municipal, ventilation. This is again a services part. How ACs work in a building, how electrical supply is given in a building. So I will just disconnect this and again go to the presentation. Okay, so from current slide. So you can scan this QR code if you want to. You can just take a pic and from another mobile you can scan that QR code. That is also okay. I will wait for 15 seconds. So if anyone wants to just take a pic, you can take a picture of this particular QR code. Till now, anyone is having any questions? You can put in a chat box. So madam will see an answer accordingly. And when I complete my presentation, I will again see the chat box to answer the questions. Okay, we'll go for the next slide. Fees for architecture studies. Now, architecture is a course, a technical course. Different colleges have different fees, ranging from minimum to maximum. Minimum last year, it was somewhere heard about in Viva College was some 85,000 per year. But plus or minus, if we try to understand, it's 5 lakhs rupees a 5-year course, which includes normally everything. Of the college exams, college fees, then your model making, and then your papers and this. So plus minus 5 lakhs is a fee. So this was the somewhere last year. JJ College has the fees which is 68,000, which is less because it's a government aided college. Again, Rachna Sansad's Academy of Architecture is having again very low fees. And this fees, this is for 5 years. So 17,000 is the college fee. If you are confused, I will just again update you. All the colleges will have plus minus 1 lakh as their fees, college fees. JJ College is having 17,000 because 68 divided by 5 is somewhere 17,000, 18,000. So 17,000 is the college fee.
That is per year.
Per year, 17,000.
Yeah.
This is only for Rachnas and Academy because they are government aided college. Government gives aid to it. And then otherwise
Most of the colleges which are affiliated to the Mumbai University, they do have 50%. They are supposed to have 50% reserved seats, which goes to the government. That is a reserved category.
Reserved ST, NT that way.
Yeah, and even the economically weaker section.
Yes.
So those people who qualify for those reservations can take advantage of a lesser fee, which is usually 50% of what the commercial fee is for regular students.
Okay, next we'll go towards the jobs. At the end of the day, everything comes down to jobs. Why we are studying this? I'm just wasting my time, or why? There are many different job options. These are just the job options given by some of the websites. Everyone needs architect by default. If you see any company, if you see any retails, they need architect to have their store ventures. Like DMart needs architect in-house, like Godrej need in-house. So any company to a bigger scale needs architect for their in-house development, their extension, their new projects. So they need it basically. Here, it's a government organization, public work department, national building organization, national urban affairs, XYZ. Again, there are many private organizations such as Acro Associates, HB International, Sketch Studio, Sleek International. Sleek International, again, if everyone is knowing they are into modular kitchens. and wardrobes, and they are also recruiting architects. Today, if we go and understand what is the difference between architect and interior designer, an architect has a validity of a government certification, which helps them to get jobs much easier and better than interior designer. And if you want to say in a words called Mumbaiya Hindi, architecture is the BAP of all design courses, or sorry, all interior design or land and building courses. Maybe it interior design, maybe it landscape design, construction management. Architecture is called the daddy of everything. So if you are an architect, you can check which stream you want to go. It's not which what jobs you are getting, which stream. I want to go for landscape. I want to go for town planning. I want to go for construction management. I want to work on site. I want to work on the office. So you can take a call at the end of the 5 years. And the jobs, there are no limit, as all companies need architects, which I told you earlier. Not only building industry. It's not that you have to work on the builder or building industry. All the different sizes of offices or businesses need architects. Example, Woodland needs architect. Example, Cafe Coffee Day needs architects.
Many a times we are put this question during our counseling sessions, that if you want to become an interior designer, students like to take the easier path and get into an interior designing college. But we at Arkin believe that the best way to become an interior designer is also through becoming a qualified architect, because your foundation, your fundamentals become thorough with this 5-year course. You are being taught many aspects as you would later study if you're interested into the syllabus of Mumbai University. What all syllabuses and what all subjects you are taught, you're trained rigorously, you are trained by professionals. So you become a thorough professional in terms of training for anything to do with buildings. And after doing a thorough training, if you choose to become an interior designer, which many of our architects and students opt for, getting into an interior designing stream or industry in all these various ways that has been listed out to you. And even other than that, there are many other opportunities through which you can get affiliated to the interior industry. But it is always better to go through a proper training, make your fundamentals strong, and you will by that way you will qualify as a better interior designer than vis-a-vis a student who has qualified by a 3-year interior designing course. Please carry on, Sam.
Yeah, the best part in for architecture, the thing is that you are taught the technical knowledge. You get a proper technical knowledge in architecture. That is, you learn about the structures, you learn about the building services, and that helps you in planning the interiors also, because those are very, very important aspects in the interior planning also. Like the services are the AC services, the plumbing services, all these you get the technical knowledge very thoroughly in the 5-year course and not in the interior 3-year interior course. So that is the reason, even if you want to go for interior designing, it is better that you take architecture and then you opt for the interior designing field. Yeah, you carry on.
Okay. So next is common jobs after Bachelor's of Architecture B.Arch course. It's design architect, landscape architect, architectural designer, project assistant construction. These are some of the part, or I will call you, it's only 1% of the jobs which I have shown you, because it's a database which has been collated by some XYZ companies by some research work of more than 10 to 15 lakhs of people, and they are generated that way. So I suggest you just a second. I suggest you still go on more jobs. Then again, there are many different fields other than NATA. These are just a glance. Again, our centers will be located at this particular places. We'll send you a link on YouTube where this entire presentation will be uploaded. So at any given point of time, you have missed some QR codes, you can just stop in the video and take the pics. You want to call someone for the session, you want to call for admission somewhere. These are the different mobile numbers directly. So at that particular point, you can just a second. Someone is still coming for the session. I am not confused, but someone is still attending a section. Sorry, still coming in the session at this moment.
Maybe
So,
they were some connectivity issues. Maybe they
sure.
had to exit and then they want to re-enter.
Okay. So if anyone wants to attend for a demo session, we'll give a first day demo session in some 2-3 days. The first topic of NATA, how you should go in that line, the first drawing session or the first, if you don't know drawing, do you want to clear NATA, how to go about it? So we'll in 2-3 days you will get a invite in Zoom again, and then we'll do this again, a session which will be more interesting than this PPT. So I will go give it to Supriya. Supriya, you want to just a second, we'll just give for some questions and then we'll go. Just a second.
Yeah, Samson, you can just give a screen share to Supriya while we are doing the Q&A.
Okay, screen new shared. Supriya. Madam, you can start with the Q&A.
Yeah.
Samson, giving me this.
I will give the screen share. Wait a minute. Madam, start the questions.
A few I have received, I have given them the answers already during the session.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions regarding the course or regarding the presentation, you can actually throw the questions to us. Yeah.
This year's NATA exam is on the 1st of August, and we are going to start the crash course for it. That will be from the 8th of June, where we'll be having 3 days in a week session, which will cover all the syllabus that has been shown to you. So feel free to connect with your nearest center if you want to start on the crash course in a week's time. Less than a week's time now, actually.
Any questions, anybody?
Supriya, can you share the screen?
No. Now I can share.
Share.
Feel free to ask whatever questions you guys have. Never mind if you don't think it's important or it's important, it may be something relevant which you need to know. In case there are no queries, then I guess we can sign out. We can end the meeting, and we'll connect with all of you through the WhatsApp groups for the next workshop, which is being planned over this weekend. Should we sign out? Supriya, Purnima, Samson?
Yes.
Yeah, we can sign off.
Yeah, we can. We can. Yeah.
Thank you for being here, everyone. Hope we have been able to give you some important information.
Check
and
the
hope to
YouTube
connect
link,
with you
check the
soon.
YouTube link post this 1-2 days.
Yeah.
Yes.
ending the meeting?
Yeah,
Yeah,
end.
we can end the meeting.
Okay.